Gossip Girl is a TV show depicting the lives of very rich teenagers in Manhattan. These teenagers come from very wealthy families, go to an expensive high school, and spend their spare time at balls, fashion shows, galas, or when they are unsupervised, as they often are, drinking and clubbing. But these teenagers aren't only rich in money. The French sociologist Pierre Bourdieu describes different types of wealth. Individuals in the upper class are not only rich in economic capital, but also social capital and cultural capital. This video will use Gossip Girl as a tool to visualize these concepts, as well as Bourdieu's concept of symbolic violence. Gossip Girl follows the lives of Dan and Jenny, the two characters on screen. Similar to Bourdieu himself, Dan and Jenny attend the same expensive high school as their economically richer peers and discover that even in that context, they fail to fit in due to their lacking social and cultural capital. Bourdieu's theory of social capital defines social capital as the resources one has access to via their social network. This means that one can be rich in their social connection and that these social connections can translate into opportunities. We can see the difference in social capital between Dan and his rich classmate Nate when both are candidates for an usher position.
You get the one you wanted? No, actually, you did. Which makes total sense because I'm second in our class and you're somewhere around, last?
No hard feelings, huh?
Why should there be? I mean, how many libraries has your dad had to endow to get you this spot?
Even though Dan is a better fit for the role, Nate has been given the position because of his social network. Nate's family name is his credential and has beaten Dan's academic grades. Bourdieu's cultural capital is less visible than economic and social capital, as it describes how one can be rich in their cultural exposure. Cultural capital exists in three states. Institutional capital describes certificates of cultural competence in the form of an academic qualification or institutional title. We can see the importance of institutional capital in Gossip Girl, as Dan and Jenny's parents have traded significant economic capital for their children to receive the qualification of a private school education. In this example, it is clear that forms of capital can be converted, and often are. Economic capital is often transferred into objectified capital. Objectified capital is material and symbolizes both the economic capital required to acquire the object and the cultural capital required to acquire an object of taste. In the current scene, we can see the importance of objectified capital as Jenny has stolen a Valentino dress to signal to her friends that she is wealthy and stylish. But even with objects that denote one's status in society, one can act in ways that reveal this status to be a charade. In the next scene, we can see embodied capital, where one embodies their degree of cultural exposure in the way that they act.
Lovely.
Yeah, it is. It reaches a high F. That never happens in operas. You know, that's a good fact. You should talk about it at intermission. You're gonna love the magic flute. It's
okay, you can say it.
Opera for amateurs.
The older man is dating the boy's mother, and the difference in their embodied capital is clear. The boy knows how to talk about operas because he comes from a rich family and has been exposed to operas throughout his life, while the man must research what to say and how to act because he does not have the embodied capital required to naturally fit in with the opera crowd. If the man does not do this research, he will seem incompetent.
In our world, people say one thing, but they expect something else. If you can hold your own, it'll go a long way with my mom and her friends.
Embodied capital functions as symbolic, as it is commonly mistaken for true competence. Another concept by Bourdieu that can be visualized in Gossip Girl is that of symbolic violence, or in his words, violence wielded with tacit complicity between its victims and its agents. This concept can be understood in this scene of Gossip Girl, where characters are attending cotillion. At cotillion, daughters of wealthy families are presented to society and are considered to become available to men. These balls perpetuate the damaging hierarchy of young women as sexual objects for men. This form of gender violence is justified and legitimized by the cotillion institution as the ball is a tradition. As it is a traditional event, males need to do nothing but follow the system to maintain their positions of power. But both victims and perpetrators are complicit in this violence, as neither views cotillion as an event intending to commit these crimes, but as a rite of passage and as a norm in their community. Thankfully, the cotillion ball has declined in popularity since 2007 when Gossip Girl was filmed, as sexism in society is becoming less ingrained and sexist events are becoming more visible as sexist. This points to Bourdieu's writing that the only way to challenge symbolic violence is to reconceptualize society.